Now, as we head into the overnight session and tomorrow, on the downside, we'll use 58.18 to 28 as key support. And ideally, if the market's going to go higher, then ideally we hold above today's initial support zone. Ideally you want to see the market holding above perhaps 58.37 to 43. If we're holding above this area, then we're kind of maintaining this intraday balance, and it at least leaves the door open for a breakout attempt. Now, who knows if that breakout attempt will succeed or not, but at least the possibility may be there. On the upside, initial resistance will continue to be key. And if we get a breakout above initial resistance, it doesn't necessarily mean that the market's now super bullish again, but I think that a breakout above initial resistance could start to trigger some stops. I think that a break above Wednesday's RTH high has potential to begin triggering stops. And the higher the market pushes, I think the more at risk the short side will become, and more likely it will be that the shorts start to cover, and that can then create this extra short-term demand, and it can create like these quick moves higher as stops get run, because tomorrow's Friday, we're going to be heading into the weekend, and if we start seeing some upside momentum come into the market, then I think that given that the overall environment is bullish, shorts aren't going to be all that comfortable holding on to their position, especially if they initiate it at lower prices. So right now, the short-term bias will continue to be neutral, but I think that over the next few days, there's potential for the intermediate term bias to get tested. And that's the theme that we're going to be working with over the next day or so. The bigger question is this simply now a situation where we broke from one balance and then went into, this other breakout area that so far is held, and now perhaps this whole thing becomes one big balance, which is something that happens all the time, right? Markets break from one small balance into another one, and then they combine to make one large balance area. So, that was kind of the possibility that we discussed even yesterday. And that is still a possibility. So, if we can break out above initial resistance, it would just increase the odds of that scenario, that we're now just in one big balance. And if we fail to take out initial resistance, we fail to take out, today's RTH high, then there would still be that risk of, oh, maybe we're going to roll over and retest the lows here and then maybe even go lower. So right now, I think that both sides lack conviction. Both sides are carrying risk, and I think both sides just don't have a ton of confidence. And when that happens, you generally see choppier conditions because neither side is willing to commit. So from a behavior perspective, anytime you get range extensions, you start seeing profit taking come in from the other side, right? So for example, if we move higher, there's going to be some short covering, but at the same time, it's not like longs are going to want to hold on to their position over the weekend when ES is trading near the all-time high. Like anyone who bought yesterday or today, if tomorrow ES pushes up into the 58.86 quarter HVN, and especially if it pushes up into the 58.99 half to 59.08 half area, like those are good prices to take profit if you're long, right? So it can kind of create this situation where there's just a lack of follow through. Like the market gets a little bit overdone to the upside, sellers step in, it gets overdone to the downside, buyers step in, short covering starts to take place because shorts are probably going to take profit down here too. So it just creates this situation where the likelihood of chop and balancing becomes higher, right? So part of that theme we saw play out today, and we could continue to see that theme playing out in the overnight and tomorrow too.